Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results from April 16th this week. Birthdays, Julio De Niro, aka Brian Wall, turned 46 years old on Saturday. Lita, Amy Dumas, turned 43 years on Saturday. Rebecca DiPietro turned 39 on Saturday. Austin Aries, real name Dan Healy Soulwold Jr., turned 40 on Sunday. Jeff Jarrett turned 51 on Saturday. The late Bryan Adams was born on April 14th, 1964. He died of a drug overdose at the age of 43 on August 13th, 2007. April 16th birthdays, George Animal Steel. He was born 1937. Vicky Guerrero was born 1968. Paul London was born 1980. And finishing off birthdays, Mia Kim, aka Jade. She was born 1989. Spoiler for SmackDown brand. Shakeup advertised in Bossier City, Louisiana, June the 10th. Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Also appearing, The Bar, Alexa Bliss, and Sasha Banks, and more. And you can go to Ticketmaster to see who all's showing up for SmackDown brand show, because Bossier City is SmackDown. Shreveport itself is Raw brand. And you can also go to www.com/WWE Live Bossier City. It looks like Big Cass could be returning to WWE TV on tonight's Superstar Shakeup edition of Raw in Hartford, Connecticut, as he is currently backstage at the XL Center, according to PW Insider. Cass was cleared to return to the ring several weeks back, as he was backstage at Raw at the Superstar Shakeup as well. He has been away since August 2017 after suffering a knee injury. Carmella commented on breakup with Big Cass, as noted Cass would be returning with a name change, as WWE recently filed to trademark the Colin Cassidy name. That's his real name, as he also uses that name on the indie fed scene around Louisiana and Texas. That is the name that he has used, and when he came to WWE, they just shortened his name to Big Cass, as he is 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. You will see a spoiler that he will be on SmackDown for sure. WWE officially announced this past Monday that Brock Lesnar has signed a new contract with WWE. According to the latest edition of Wrestling Observer from Dave Meltzer, the agreement for the new deal was made on the Monday before WrestleMania, the go-home episode of Raw, and was signed on Sunday before the match. New contract, not an extension to his existing deal, is at a higher rate. Meltzer noted that it is not known if the new deal is a one-match contract or for more than that. The agreement was kept quiet, and few people knew about it. Meltzer stated that Roman Reigns found out about it the day of WrestleMania and had thought that he would be winning the title from Lesnar up until that point. The original ending was supposed to have Reigns coming off the ropes and get put into the F5. However, he would counter it into a spear and pin Lesnar to win the match. It was changed to Lesnar hitting the F5 and just pinning Reigns. The match went off as planned, and nobody went off script. It was reported earlier in the week that the new deal allows for Lesnar to fight in the UFC. Obviously, if it's a one-match contract, then it's a moot point anyways. So if Reigns wins, then Lesnar will just be off if he wins his MMA match, UFC match, or whatever, and then return to WWE. Meltzer also noted that Lesnar has yet to re-enter the USADA testing pool. Lesnar was suspended by the USADA for testing positive for a banned substance, estrogen blocker, clomiphene, in and out of competition tests and an in-competition test. Prior to his fight with Mark Hunt at the UFC 200 in 2016, Lesnar was suspended for 1 year by USADA. However, the suspension was frozen after Lesnar announced his retirement from MMA. Lesnar still has 6 months of a suspension to compete once he re-enters the USADA testing pool. So if Lesnar is serious about returning to UFC, it's unclear why he has yet to re-enter the pool. According to U.S. Weekly, John Cena and Nikki Bella have broken up after dating since 2012. The couple sent Us Weekly a statement. While the decision was a difficult one, we continue to have a great deal of love and respect for one another. We ask that you respect our privacy during this time in our lives. Cena proposed to Nikki at WrestleMania 32 after the duo won a tag team match against The Miz and Maurice. Back in February, Cena made an appearance on Today to talk about the highs and lows of his relationship with Nikki as part of the trailer for the Total Divas Season 2. The couple wondered if they were going to even have a wedding. I think in a relationship you have highs and lows, and that was an extreme low, Cena admitted. You either have two choices. You either jump ship and start a new relationship or move forward and try to work through it. And we're going to move forward and try to work through it. In January, the couple had an engagement party, and during his Today appearance, Cena was asked directly if the wedding was still on. He didn't really say yes or no, but at the time they were still working on things. Like I said, we both have to work some work to do, and we're genuinely trying our best to work through it, Cena said. So I'm very happy to say that it's a situation that we're working through. We haven't yet jumped ship. So, according to that, Cena hasn't. They haven't actually broken up. Broken up means jump ship. But I read on another dirt sheet that it was Nikki saying goodbye. WWE recently filed the trademark 2: Cassidy name. This is the ring name that Big Cass used before. They shortened it, indicating potential change for his ring return. Cass should be returning to the ring soon after undergoing knee surgery back in August 2017. It is reported that he would be out for 9 months. Well, 9 months. Wrestling Inc.'s Andy Malnowski recently caught up with WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart. Among other things, Hart talked about whether Hulk Hogan will ever return to WWE. Also, Hart discussed whether there was still heat between Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, as they were good buddies. On the subject of Hogan, Hart suggests that a WWE return is possible, as even Bret the Hitman Hart came back to the fold despite the Montreal Screwjob and his brother Owen's tragic passing. The Mouth of the South went on to say that Hogan is doing well with his beach shops in Florida. Well, do you know what? You never say never, Hart pondered. Whoever thought that Bret Hart might be coming back after the thing that happened? He has been back 2 or 3 times, but the hulkser is doing well. He has a couple of businesses down in Orlando and Clearwater, Florida. Beachboard shops where you buy all the merchandise, and so you never say never on anything. But like I said before, it's just a thrill for me to be riding this train the whole time for 34 years. Thank the Lord for the WWE, right? Hogan and Beefcake got into a public spat last November after Beefcake wrote on Twitter that he was upset with Hogan after spending time with his ex-wife. According to Hart, the Megamaniacs are back together insofar as Hogan and Beefcake are on good terms once again. I think everything is great now, Hart declared. On Christmas holidays, I got a call from Brutus. Jimmy, I love you, baby. And I said, I love you too, Brutus. And so it's like everything else. Your girlfriend, you may have a squabble with her, your best friend, and all of a sudden, everything works out to put everything back together. But I think it's all good. WWE has confirmed several matches for the UK title tournament events scheduled for Royal Albert Hall in London on June 18th and June 19th. The one-night tournament to crown a new number 1 contender to UK champion Pete Dunne for a title match on the second night. A 6-man match with Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven versus the Undisputed Era NXT Tag Team Champions Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, and NXT North American Champion Adam Cole on the first night, plus 3 NXT title matches to take place the second night. Cole will defend his title, while Strong and O'Reilly will defend their titles in NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler will defend her title. Last night, Austin Aries defeated Swerve, Shane Strickland to win the Defy Championship at Defy's Vibes event. Aries currently now has 6 titles and wrote about the latest victory. Last night continued to prove why I love being a pro wrestler, doing pro wrestling right now at Defy NW. Now has something cool going on in the NW right now. Well run. Go locker room. A good locker room and a legion of rowdy, loyal fans. Some weren't happy how I swerved, Strickland Shane, but sometimes that's what it takes to beat a top talent and stay #belt collector. Thank you at Defy NW and its fans for a really fun night. See you soon. Time to celebrate. And you can see the picture of him and his belt on Instagram at that link. The dark main event at the WWE NXT taping saw NXT champion Aleister Black defeat Sanity leader Eric Young. He then took out Sanity members Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. With Sanity being off TV for the last few weeks, there was some fan speculation on this being their last appearance before being called to the main roster. WWE congratulated WWE studio host Scott Stafford for winning Best Morning Show with PIX 11 news at last night's New York Emmy Awards. At WWE Universe, congratulations to Scott Stafford won on winning an Emmy Award for Best Morning Show at the New York Emmy Awards last night. WWE has announced Chris Jericho will be replacing Russev in a casket match against The Undertaker that has been scheduled for the Greatest Royal Rumble on Friday, April 27th from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, which will air live on the WWE Network the day beginning with the kickoff pre-show at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. For those who missed it, storyline reason for Rusev being pulled was Lana refusing to allow him to compete in the casket match. WWE's announcement came just a few hours after TMZ Sports publishing a video interview with Lana and Rusev discussing the match and how the Bulgarian Brute will send the dead man to retirement. Since then, Rusev has removed WWE references from his social media, according to WWE Online's daily update. Everything has been storyline. Earlier today, Rusev wrote, "Gonna miss you, bud," on English's late post on Instagram. Becky Lynch, Lana, and Mickie James are appearing tonight at the American Country Music Awards in Las Vegas, Nevada. And some of the photos and that can be found here. Yeah, Lana, Becky Lynch, and Mickie James, all at the Country Music Awards. SmackDown Women's Champion Carmella was recently a guest on Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia. The former Miss Money in the Bank discussed her father, Paul Van Dale, who also wrestled in WWE in the 1990s. I don't remember him. Van Dale worked mainly as a jobber in the WWE and also worked for independent promotions. Carmella hasn't really talked about her father being a wrestler in the past, but it's not something that she tries to hide. She said she felt a lot of pride growing up because of her father's career, and he would watch wrestling shows with her regularly. She said she never expected to be a wrestler herself. A lot of people don't know that. I don't really put it out there that much, but he did a lot of enhancement work. He wrestled Razor Ramon, Superfly Jimmy Snuka. There have been so many. Big Boss Man, Papa Shango. So I really did grow up wrestling because my dad watched it every week. I am making myself sound a little older, but we used to record Monday Night Raw on VHS every single Monday night because he would work nights, so we would watch it the next day together. After I would come home from school, Carmella said. Growing up, of course, I was the coolest girl in the 3rd grade because I told everyone that my dad was a wrestler and I would bring in these wrestling magazines of him. And every Saturday morning, he would be body slamming me on my bed. He would put on a big show whenever I would have my friends sleep over for sleepovers. We would always do that. Now I am here. I never did. I think I would be in a wrestling ring after watching him do it. Sound off reaction on if Carmella catches in at Fastlane. Carmella said her father is eminently proud of her for her career in the professional wrestling industry. She said he gave up on his dream of being a wrestler in order to raise a family, and he is able to now enjoy the success she has achieved so far in her career. He is so excited. He is over the moon, so proud because he never really got to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish. He did it for a few years just for enhancement work, and he had a family at the time, so his primary focus was his family. So he wasn't really getting anywhere with wrestling, she said. I admire him for that, for giving us his dream for his kids and his family to be able to provide a life for them. For me to be able to do this now, he is almost living vicariously with me for us to share this together. Last month, Vader underwent successful open heart surgery in Dallas, Texas. On November 14th, 2016, Vader announced that he was diagnosed with congestive heart failure due to his football and wrestling injuries. He visited 2 heart doctors and then told them that he only had 2 years left to live. A few days ago, Vader tweeted that he's officially out of the hospital and is currently in rehab. At It's Vader Time on Twitter, I am officially out of the hospital and in rehab. It's a long road back from here to the ring. Wish me luck. Last night's Ring of Honor Steel City Excellence took place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and was also a TV taping. Here's the spoiler that took place. Chuck E. T defeated Josh Woods. Billy Ray cut a promo where he called out Ring of Honor COO Joe Koff. Coast to Coast defeated Beer City Bruiser and Brian Milanos. Sumi Siaki defeated Stella Gray, the Women of Honor Championship. After the match, Jenny Rose challenged her for the title. Silas Young defeated Flip Gordon for the World TV Championship. Jonathan Gresham defeated Will Ferreira. After the match, Rhett Titus attacked Gresham, and the Motor City Machine Guns made a save. Shane Taylor defeated Ryan Nova. The Kingdom defeated Dalton Castle and the boys. Tennille Dashwood, formerly Emma, cut a promo saying that she's home at Ring of Honor and watched the Women of Honor Championship. The Young Bucks defeated Briscoes by disqualification. Jenny Rhodes defeated Brandy Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' wife. Jay Lethal defeated Punishment Martinez. Kelly Klein defeated Madison Rain. Bully Ray took out 2 local competitors during the match. Cheeseburger showed up to get in Bully's face. Joe Koff ended up firing Bully as Ring of Honor enforcer, and Bully announced he's a wrestler again after retiring a few months back. Motor City Machine Guns defeated the Dogs. Cody, Marty Skrull, and Hangman Page defeated Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpion Sky. Ring of Honor's next event is Masters of the Craft at 7 p.m. I'll give you the results of that as well. The event streaming for Honor Club members. Here's the card for that. Dalton Castle versus Marty Skrull versus Beer City Bruiser versus Punishment Martinez. Defy or deny match. Cody versus Matt Taven. First blood match. Silas as champion versus Cheeseburger. Ring of Honor World Championship. Jay Lethal versus Jonathan Gresham. Coast to Coast versus the Dogs. SoCal Uncensored. And Shane Taylor versus Flip Gordon, the Young Bucks, and Adam Page. Sumi Siaki, Tennille Dashwood, and Deanna Purrazzo versus Madison Rain, Brandy Rhodes, and Jenny Rose. Ring of Honor Masters of the Craft took place earlier from Columbus, Ohio. In the main event, Marty Skrull pinned Ring of Honor World Champion Dalton Castle in a defy or deny match. Since Skrull picked up the win over the champion, he'll get a future title shot. And here's the results. Silas Young, champion, defeated Cheeseburger. After the match, Bully Ray attacked Cheeseburger. Flip Gordon attempted to make the save, but Bully fought both wrestlers off. Sumi Siaki, Tennille Dashwood, and Deanna Purrazzo defeated Madison Rain, Brandy Rose, and Jenny Rose. After the match, Purrazzo on the mic talks about not winning the Women of Honor tournament. But neither did Kelly Klein. Klein comes out, and the two talk some trash. Purrazzo calls Klein a B word, and the two will meet April 27th at Bound by Honor. Flip Gordon, the Young Bucks, and Adam Page defeated SoCal Uncensored and Shane Taylor. Briscoe defeated the Beasties in the world, or Besties in the world, Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Jay Lethal defeated Jonathan Gresham. Matt Taven defeated Cody Rhodes, first blood match. Marty Skrull defeated Dalton Castle, Beer City Bruiser. Punishment Martinez, defy or deny match. Skrull pinned Castle and received a future World Championship opportunity. Thanks for Wrestling Inc. Reader Joseph Garrard for sending the results for Steel City Excellence at stage in Pittsburgh from last weekend. Dark match, Cole and Delaney versus, they did 4 weeks of tapings. Though judging by the order of the matches, they'll probably be aired in different order. Dark match, Cole and Delaney versus Chris LaRusso. The Future of Honor match. I don't know if would be classy if this is a Future of Honor match, as LaRusso has been competing with Ring of Honor for a few years, but while Delaney had a regular forgettable stint in WWE over a decade ago in the rebooted ECW. Despite LaRusso being from nearby Atlanta, the crowd is clearly behind Delaney. Back and forth match, and eventually had Delaney come out on top. The two honor the code of honor afterwards. Bobby Cruz comes out and introduces Eon, Riccaboni, and BJ Whitmer for commentary. No Colt Cabana tonight. Whitmer and Caprice Coleman split commentary duties through the night. Chucky T versus Josh the Goods Woods. Back and forth match eventually sees Chucky come out on top. Sumi Siaki versus Stella Ray in a non-title match. Jenny Rose on commentary. Back and forth match. Sakai eventually wins. Interesting enough with the crossroads. You would figure Brandy Rhodes would be using that move. Rhodes comes down to the ring, challenges Saki to a match for the Women of Honor Championship, which Saki accepted only because the title would be on the line. Billy Ray came out to chorus of boos. Ray makes a point that the last time Ring of Honor was in Pittsburgh in October, everyone cheered for him. He explains his actions from the Supercard of Honor, that the fans and a lot of wrestlers, including Cheeseburger, are entitled and act like they can do whatever they want. Ray is about to call out Joe Koff when a fan throws a streamer into the ring. Ray appears to go off script by threatening the fan who threw the streamer, only to have more fans throw streamers into the ring, including one that hit Ray in the head. Ray then returned to the promo and tells Koff that he is too nice. He then pulls out WWE Hall of Fame ring and tells everyone that he is above everyone. Flip Gordon versus Alex Young for the Ring of Honor Championship. Shane Taylor on commentary. Fans are split early on between Silas and Flip. Even Young starts encouraging fans to cheer for Gordon. Very competitive match with several near falls. Young eventually wins the match and retains the TV title. Coast to Coast versus Beer City. Bruiser and Brian Milanos. Super heavyweights largely dominated the match, but Coast to Coast eventually came back to win, with both members pinning Milanos at the same time. Will Ferrero with Titus versus Jonathan Gresham. As Gresham gets a pop for once, despite being from Philadelphia. Titus goes on commentary, stating that he is hung over and is giving Little Willie some singles action tonight. Back and forth match that eventually sees Gresham on top. Afterwards, Titus came back to ringside, and the Dogs double-teamed Gresham until the Motor City Machine Guns made a save. Ryan Nova versus Shane Taylor. Taylor cut a promo stating that he lived in Pittsburgh for 8 years, and that he's ashamed that Ring of Honor is bringing guys like Nova in because it's taking money out of his pocket. He announces that he's going to start going through the competition like he did during the 8 years he lived in Pittsburgh. The match ends up being a quick squash match that ends in referee stoppage in Taylor's favor. Taylor briefly goes to the back before coming back out and sitting at ringside. The Kingdom versus Dalton Castle and the boys. Matt Taven appeared to be paying Taylor to protect the Ring of Honor 6-man championship title belts that currently belong to SoCal Uncensored. Castle has a cast on his right hand. Back and forth match as the Kingdom dominated the boys. Eventually, Christopher Daniels comes down to try to take the belts back, but Shane Taylor won't let them. While the Kingdom is distracted, the boys switch spots a la Twin Magic and begin gaining an upper hand. Taven eventually hits one of the boys with one of the belts and scores a pinfall. After the match, the Kingdom attack Castle and do more damage to his hand. Tino Dashwood comes down and thanks the Ring of Honor fans for giving her a chance with the promotion, and thanks for giving women's wrestling a chance. She promises everyone that she will win the Women of Honor Championship. Briscoes versus the Young Bucks for Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Briscoes attack the Young Bucks with chairs before the match officially starts. The match eventually goes back and forth, while the Young Bucks eventually winning by disqualification after Briscoe starting using chairs again. They continue the assault. The team afterwards with Jay Briscoe waiting by the entrance ramp to attack the rest of the Bullet Club. Jay flips a middle finger to the fans several times. Women of Honor Wednesday match. Jenny Rose versus Brandy Rhodes with Bernard, the Business Bear. Mandy Leon on commentary. Rose probably got the biggest heat of the night outside of Bully Ray due to the being introduced from Philadelphia, something that didn't happen to Gresham earlier in the night. She gets even more heat when she mistakenly kicks Bernard. A quick back and forth match. Rose eventually wins in a pinning combination that looked like both were pinned at the same time. Both honored the code afterwards, after Rose initially teased that she wouldn't. Punishment Martinez versus Jay Lethal. The action started immediately. Good match. So Martinez looked like he hurt his left knee in the match. Lethal eventually won. Afterwards, Martinez walking to the back limping when a Ring of Honor backstage worker tried to help Martinez, who responded by punching the worker. The worker ended up needing help in the back. Shane Taylor versus Joey Diesel Daddy Go. Taylor tries talking Daddy Go into walking away from the match, but Daddy Go still wants to fight. Any goodwill Taylor got early from the fans went away with the chants of Cleveland sucks in response to his hometown and let's go jobber, the latter showing how far Daddy Go has fallen down the card. As just 2 years ago, he was Jay Lethal's enforcer in the House of Truth. More competitive than Taylor's early match with Ryan Nova. Taylor eventually dominated. Match eventually ruled a no contest after Taylor jumped off the ring apron and onto Daddy Go, who was laying on a folding chair. Taylor eventually attacked the refs and backstage personnel before heading to the back. Kelly Klein versus Madison Rain. A quick but competitive match. Klein winded up on top. Motor City Machine Guns came out. Chris Sabin says that since reforming with Alex Shelley 2 years ago, they've accomplished their goals. The two teams splitting amicably before stating that they are sticking together to dominate the tag team division. The Dogs came out to attack the two, leading to an impromptu tag match. The Machine Guns eventually won. Two local competitors come out and compete against each other. The match was entertaining until Bully Ray came out and assaulted both competitors and threw the female valet of one of the competitors out of the ring, leading to a no contest. Ray fires all three, which leads to Cheeseburger coming out. He told Bully Ray that he respected him, but now says he's a piece of crap. Ray assaulted Cheeseburger, which led to Joe Kopp coming out to relieve Ray of his duties as Ring of Honor enforcer. Jay takes out his WWE Hall of Fame ring. Ray takes out his ring, tells Kopp that he is unretired from in-ring competition. SoCal Uncensored versus Bullet Club. Cody, Marty Scurll, and Adam Page with Bernard, the Business Bear. Entertaining match at one point. All six competitors out of the ring and re-entered the ring at the count of 19. Yeah, they have a 20 count in Ring of Honor. Page picked up the win over Scorpio Sky. SoCal Uncensored attacked Bullet Club afterwards, with Scurll accidentally giving a low blow to Page and hitting Cody with the umbrella. He tried to apologize to both, but Cody wants to fight him on the spot. As they are about to fight, they end up hugging, much to Page's dismay. Other notes and news. A Dr. Pittsburgh native, Rosa Mendez, was also in attendance with her husband. No Virgil tonight. Mendez was acknowledged by Ring of Honor with help from Streamer's Guy, who was sitting right in front of her. Streamer's Guy later got into arguments with Shane Taylor and Bully Ray. Bullet Club, except Adam Page, Flip Gordon, Shane Taylor, Simi Siaki, Janelle Dashwood were all available for autographs before the show. Saki was available during the intermission. As always, Addiction was selling comics before the show. It took a while for the crowd to cheer for Flip Gordon. Even Silas Young broke character and was encouraging fans to cheer for his opponent during the match. One has to wonder if Gordon's military service, combined with Ring of Honor being owned by Sinclair Broadcast Group, is prompting Ring of Honor to push Gordon rather fast, considering that military personnel tend to lean Republican, much like Sinclair. Let's hope the subliminal political references with Ring of Honor stop there. All the Bullet Club, including Brandy Rhodes, Flip Gordon, and Bernard Bismarck, stayed after the cameras went off the air. With Bullet Club doing their stitch, the show ended with Marty Scurll singing Backstreet Boys with the crowd. Scurll then thanked everyone for attending. WWE taped the following matches from Hartford, Connecticut to air on the main event episode. Carl Anderson defeated Kurt Hawkins. Lance Dorado and Graham Metallic defeated TJP and Ari DeBerry. Raw results live from the Excel Center, Hartford, Connecticut, as Michael Cole welcomes us to the show. He's also joined in by Corey Grace and Jonathan Coachman. We go to the ring, and out comes Raw General Manager Kurt Angle. He welcomes us to the first night of the Superstar Shakeup and promises big surprises for tonight. He goes to get started, but is interrupted by Sunil Singh, who introduces the newest member of the Raw roster, U.S. Champion Jinder Mahal. Well, you get two members. Jinder hits the ring as the fans boo. He congratulates Angle on signing the modern day Maharaja to Raw and securing it as the A show. Jinder wants to know why he was brought to Raw in an SUV when he only travels in a limousine with a motorcade. Angle officially welcomes Jinder and says they never agreed on a limo. Jinder rants about how he's better than everyone else, but Angle isn't so sure. Fan chant "You suck" at Jinder and demands the same treatment as Angle's other champion, WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. The back and forth leads to Angle booking Jinder in a title match right now. The music hits. Out comes Jeff Hardy to a pop. U.S. title match right off the bat. Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal. Jeff makes his way into the ring as we get the bell. Jinder goes right to work on Hardy. Jinder works Hardy over. It's fan chant for Hardy. Jeff turns it around in the corners. Jinder turns it back around. And Jeff ends up sending him to the floor and kicking him back. Jeff leaps on the apron and takes Jinder down on the floor again. We gotta get a commercial. Back from the break, Jinder has Jeff grounded in the middle of the ring. Hardy broke free, but Jinder dropped him over the top rope. Jinder with knee drops. Jinder stood tall and poses as fans boo. Jinder stalks Hardy and charges with a big right hand. Fans boo Jinder and shows off some more. The "You suck" chants start back up. Hardy fights in from the apron and goes to the top, but Jinder crunches him from behind. Jinder climbs up, but Jeff knocks him to the mat. Jeff with a whispering win. Fans really rally for Hardy now. Singh gets on the apron to distract Jeff, but Jeff kicks him off. Jinder comes from behind Jeff, but Jeff fights him off. Jeff with an inverted atomic drop and a double leg drop. Jeff with a basement drop kick for a close 2 count. Jinder blocks the twist of fate and delivers a big knee to the face for a 2 count. Fan chant for Hardy. Jeff blocks the collar and rolls Jinder up for a 2 count. Jinder immediately nails a big super kick for a close 2 count. Jinder drops Hardy over his knees, but it almost backfires with a pin attempt. Jeff hits a twist of fate and the fans pop. Goes up top. Jeff goes up top and nails the swanton for the win. And becomes your new Grand Slam champion. After the match, Jeff celebrates and we go to replays. We come back to Hardy celebrating with a title on the stage as his music hits. Still to come, The Miz will host Miz TV and reveal a roster move that will change the face of Raw. Also, Bayley versus Sasha. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we see what just happened with Hardy and Mahal. Renee Young approaches Jinder and Singh backstage that he's not happy. Jinder accuses Hardy and Kurt Angle of running a conspiracy by bringing him to Raw. Jinder reveals that he's getting his rematch on April 27th in Saudi Arabia at the greatest Royal Rumble event. Jinder keeps speaking, but we can't hear him because No Way Jose's music interrupts as Jose starts dancing through the back with his conga line. He stops Jinder and Renee, taunting Jinder with positivity. Jinder fumes as Jose dances away with Renee. Bayley versus Sasha was up next. We go to ring out. First comes Bayley, and JoJo does ring introductions, and Sasha was out next. Bell rings and they meet in the middle of the ring. Sasha strikes first as they go at it. Bayley slips on the ropes, and Banks takes advantage. They go back and forth. They end up on the outside, and Bayley sends Banks down with a hurricanrana as we go back to commercial. Back for the break. Banks has Bayley grounded in the middle of the ring. Bayley looks to turn it around, but Banks drops her. Bayley sends Banks to the apron and gets hung up on the second rope. Bayley with a shoulder to the gut in the corner. Bayley with a modified neck breaker out of the corner for a 2 count. Bayley turns it back around and sends Bayley out to the floor. Into the barrier. Referee counts. Bayley returns to the apron, but Banks meets her with a high knee. Banks jumps over the top and plants the knees on the apron, sending Bayley back to the floor. Banks brings it back in and goes up top for more knees and a 2 count. Banks talks trash and mushes Bayley around. Bayley comes back swinging and they trade big slaps. They punch in the middle of the ring as the fans pop. Banks kicks Bayley down in the corner and delivers knees to the face for a 2 count. Stealing Nakamura's moves again. Sasha rolls through and applies a bank statement. The Riot Squad hit the ring as the referees calls for the belt. No contest. After the belt, and the Riot Squad make their Raw debut, as they are the new members of Raw from SmackDown. After the match, Bayley and Banks are triple teamed by Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Riott. They continue to destroy Banks and Bayley for mostly booze. The Riott Squad stand tall as their music hits, as they have now joined Raw. So to come, Roman Reigns will be here. Back to commercial. Authors of Pain making their Raw debut again. And they face off against Rhino and Heath Slater. Back from the break, Heath Slater is out with Rhino. We get a sidebar video from earlier today where they talk about getting a second chance as the Authors of Pain. Cam and Reza are out next. Slater and Rhino immediately attack before the bell and beat down Akam. Slater starts off with Akam and goes right to work on him. They make tags and keep Akam down, but Slater gets dropped and in comes Razar. Razar unloads on Slater to turn around, taking some trash, talking trash as well. Akam turns it back for a big double team on Slater for a 2 count. My P goes out. That's some getting the dirt sheets results. More back and forth. Rhino tags in and unloads the fans chant for ECW. Rhino knocks Akam off the apron, goes back to work on Reza, hitting a big power slam for a 2 count. Also sends Slater hard out to the floor before dropping Rhino again. They double team Rhino with the last chapter cover for the win. After the match, Authors of Pain stand tall without their former manager, and Slater and Rhino are still down as the Authors stand tall on the stage. Still to come, a big brand change will be revealed on Miz TV. Back to commercial. Back from the break, it's time for another must-see edition of Miz TV. The Miz is in the ring with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. He welcomes us to the show. Miz says the Riott Squad and Jinder Mahal have already shaken things up, but his guests represent a seismic change for Raw. He calls for the fans to get up out of their seats and welcome the newest Raw members, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Owens' music hits, out they come together. Owens and Sami hit the ring and celebrate with Miz and the Miztourage jumping around together. Miz says standing before us is the finest group of talent we've seen, bigger than the NWO. Miz goes on and says that they are the vengeance of WWE. Together they are changing the landscape of WWE and sculpting Raw into their place. They are putting the entire Raw locker room on notice. Miz goes on ranting and the music interrupts, and out comes Raw General Manager Kurt Angle, making his way out. Angle says Miz doesn't have any power here, but Angle does. He says Owens and Sami had their chance to win a contract last week, but they failed. Owens says an email was sent a few minutes ago, and plans have changed. Sami says he will save Angle the trouble of pulling his phone out, but because he's printed the email out, Sami reads a message from Raw Commissioner, supposedly Stephanie McMahon, saying that she has to re-examine Angle's handling of the situation with Sami and Owens. Stephanie doesn't want Raw to miss out on 2 top talents, such as Owens and Sami. She has rewarded them contracts. They taunt Angle, and he's just surprised Stephanie had the time to write an email, because he's figured that she'd be doing around-the-clock physical therapy after Ronda Rousey ripped her arm out. Angle congratulated Sami and Owens and welcomed them. He tells them to say goodbye to The Miz because he's got a message from SmackDown General Manager Paige and SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. And they said former GM Daniel Bryan was adamant about getting The Miz on SmackDown where he is. The Miz rants at Angle and says he and the Miztourage says that they will do what they did on Raw. Make SmackDown the must-see. Angle interrupts and says the Miztourage is staying on Raw, but The Miz is going. Angle reveals a going-away present for The Miz tonight. It will be a 10-man main event with The Miz, Sami, Owens, Axel, Dallas versus Finn Balor, Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and a new superstar making his Raw debut. Angle's music hits, and as the other look on from the ring. And the mystery partner was not even said until your main event happened. Still to come segment, Roman Reigns is here. Graphic flash as Bray Wyatt appears backstage. Matt Hardy is with him. They're here. Back to commercial. Yeah, they're doing the Wyatt family gimmick. Revival versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Back from the ring. Revival is already in the ring. Sheamus and Cesaro on commentary. Matt Hardy was out next with his partner Bray Wyatt joining him. The winner of this match will face tomorrow for the vacant Raw Tag Team Champions on April 27th in Saudi Arabia as greatest Royal Rumble. It was already advertised the Hardys facing off against the Bar. So there's Hardy and Wyatt. Hardy faces off with Scott Dawson as they go right to work in the corner. Dash Wilder tags in for a bit of double teaming. Hardy turns around on Dash and slams his head into the turnbuckles for the delete chance. More back and forth now. Wyatt tries to get involved in the revival as the revival keeps Hardy down near their corner. Dawson with a 2 count on Matt. Wyatt ends up coming in for the finish as he and Hardy get the win. After the match, Wyatt and Hardy stand tall as Matt's music hits. The Bar stand up on the stage and raises their fists at Hardy and Wyatt. Their match is official for Saudi Arabia. Back from Backlash hype and announcers plug the Superstar Shakeup. We will look at Ronda Rousey after a commercial break. Back from the break, the Bar is backstage. They walk up on Breezango, who take shots at what they're wearing. Tyler Breeze and Fandango now have joined the Raw roster. The announcers look at some of the new additions to the Raw roster. We get a brief look at Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon. Ronda is backstage with Kurt Angle now, talking about their WrestleMania 34 win. Angle says Stephanie won't go away quietly, and there's no telling what he has planned for the shakeup. There's a knock on the door, and in comes Natalya. She and Rousey hug and tell Angle that they train together. Angle praises Natalya and says that she's campaigned hard to come to Raw. Natalya is excited to prove she's the best there was, is, and ever will be, or maybe the second best, now that Rousey is here. Natalya thanks them both and leaves all smiles. Next up, we got Mickie James versus Ember Moon in singles action. We go to the ring. Out comes Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax for commentary. Back at the commercial. Back from the ring, off first comes Ember Moon. Mickie James is out next. Alexa Bliss was supposed to join Jax on commentary, but she no-showed. The bell rings and they go at it. Back and forth to start the match. Mickie takes Ember down for a 2 count. Mickie keeps Moon grounded. We cut to backstage sidebar video interview with Bliss. Bliss says she had no interest in joining that bully, Jax, on commentary. Bliss plays the victim and mentions her rematch at Backlash. Ember looks to turn it around on Mickie. But Mickie drops her again. Keeps her grounded. Mickie hits Moon with a drop kick and covers for a 2 count. Then another. Moon finally mounts offense after a kick and a kip up. Moon keeps control and goes to the top. Moon nails the Eclipse and covers for the pinfall. After the match, Moon stands tall as her music hits, and we go to replays. Moon stands tall as Mickie recovers on the floor. Sammy and Kevin are backstage, talking about tonight's main event. Sammy says they need to focus on taking Braun Strowman out. Owens wonders about the mystery man. The Miz chimes in and asks about working for Shane McMahon and how he will treat Miz. Sammy asks Miz to focus on tonight's match and not his blue brand return. Owens and Sammy also want Miz to do something about the Miztourage, who are off to the side doing nothing. Miz wants his transition to be must-see. Still to come segment. Who is the newest member of Raw? Back to commercial. Back from the ring, Apollo is in the ring with Titus O'Neil and Dana Brooke. The newest member of the Raw roster comes out, Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler confronts Titus worldwide, but it's just to distract them and allow Drew McIntyre to attack from behind. And who has also joined Raw from NXT. Ziggler and McIntyre end up hitting a zigzag and a claymore at the same time on Apollo as Ziggler and McIntyre stand tall as Ziggler's music plays. So to come, Roman Reigns back to commercial. And it looks to be Ziggler is the captain of that team. Back from after a commercial break, and it's still to come segment, Roman Reigns. Out he comes to the ring. The boos pick up as Reigns takes a mic. Reigns says once again he's here, but Universal Champion Brock Lesnar isn't. Reigns talks about winning the title in a steel cage match on April 27th and says he will return to Raw as our full-time champion. Reigns goes on, but the music interrupts and out comes Samoa Joe. Joe takes a mic on the stage and says one thing Reigns doesn't brag about is getting the job done because he doesn't get it done and never will. Joe goes on and says Reigns won't learn until someone puts him down for good. Joe says once Lesnar is done massacring Reigns in the cage, he will be waiting at Backlash to put the big dog to sleep once and for all. Joe shows us a video package of recent matches where he and Lesnar have beat up on Reigns. This leads to Joe looking like he's headed to the ring for a fight. He stops and turns around, walking back up the ramp to some moves. Joe stops and turns back around for a fight. Joe marches to the ring but stops and talks some trash. Joe says he will see Reigns at Backlash on his time. Joe walks back up the ramp, heads to the back as fans boo. Reigns' music hits. Mandy Rose versus Natalya was up next. Back for the break. Out comes Absolution, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose. They are without their leader now that Paige is on SmackDown. Natalya was out next. They start as Mandy delivers a stiff slap. Natalya fights back and they go at it. Rose ends up on the floor, but Natalya brings her back in. Rose goes back to the floor and draws Natalya out. Rose drops Natalya on the floor due to Sonya Deville distraction. Rose brings her back in the ring for a 2 count. Rose stomps away in the corner. Rose with more offense, including a suplex. Rose with a 2 count. Rose ties Natalya up in a abdominal stretch in the middle of the ring now. Natalya fights back and yells at Rose, warning her. Natalya goes to work on Rose and quickly applies a sharpshooter for the pin. After the match, Natalya stands tall until Deville attacks her from behind. Rose and Deville double team Natalya until the music hits. Out comes Ronda Rousey to a pop. Rousey hits the ring as Absolution retreats to the floor. Deville enters the ring and taunts Rousey. Rousey with strikes and a clothesline to take Deville down. Rousey checks on Natalya as Rose and Deville talk trash from the stage. Rousey's music hits as she leaves with Natalya, and we get a replay. Coleslaw leads us to a video of the newest Raw member, Baron Corbin. Breezango versus Bar was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Back for the break. Bar have already made their entrance. Cesaro starts off with Fandango. We get some comedy with the Bar's jackets inspired by 2018 Hall of Famers, the Dudley Boys. Come into play. Cesaro tries to roll Fandango up, but he can't, and in comes Breeze. Cesaro ends up flooring Breeze with a huge uppercut. Sheamus tags in and beats Breeze down in the corner. Sheamus distracts the referee while Cesaro decks Breeze with a cheap shot. Fan chant, "You look stupid" at Sheamus. Of course, his mohawk thing, spiked mohawk. Sheamus keeps control and tags in Cesaro for some double teaming on Breeze. Cesaro then tags Breeze, keeps Breeze grounded. Sheamus comes back in for some double teaming as they are dominating Breeze. Fandango reaches for a tag, but he gets knocked off the apron by Sheamus. Bar double team Breeze out of the corner, but somehow he kicks out and he can't believe it. They can't believe it. Fandango pulls Sheamus off the apron and he's going for the tag as Breeze takes advantage and rolls Cesaro up out of nowhere for the big upset. After the match, Breeze and Breezango celebrate while the Bar looks shocked. We go to replays. Breezango continues the celebration. Renee Young backstage with Elias. She asks him why he's decided not to perform tonight. He calls her Rachel and says that he only plays big shows that matter now. And heartfelt definitely does not matter. Elias brings up Bobby Lashley next and says Lashley doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as him. Elias says Lashley should sit in the crowd and worship him like everyone else. Elias says if Lashley interrupts him one more time, he will find out what everyone else knows. That WWE stands for Walk with Elias. We hear the fans go along with him. In the arena, Elias mentions how he won't perform for the crowd tonight, but he will give Renee the private concert that she wants. He eggs it on and says we won't have time for... She says that we won't have time for a performance, cutting him off. Elias plays, but she interrupts him and sends it back to the announcers. Elias walks off playing his guitar. So to come segment, our big chain man main event. Back to commercial. Would you miss your partner? Which is up next? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, The Miz, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas versus Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and your newest Raw superstar, Bobby Roode. The Glorious. Well, just became glorious. We go to the ring. Out first comes Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The Miz was out next with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Braun Strowman was out first for his team. Finn Balor was out next, followed by Bobby Lashley and Continental Champion Seth Rollins out next. Out last was the newest member of Raw roster, Bobby Roode. We get the bell and the two teams talk trash and try to figure out who will start. Rollins starts off with Owens. Owens strikes first and beats Rollins down. Rollins catches Owens running into the corner and sends him face first into the turnbuckle. Owens gets sent out to the floor. Rollins leaps over the top and takes Owens down on the floor. Both teams face off with the baby faces in the ring as we go to commercial. Back from the break. Okay. Rollins drops Axel. Rude tags in and works Axel over for a 2 count. Balor ends up coming in, but getting beat down in the corner by Owens and Sammy. Dallas also beats down Balor. Miz comes in as things settle down and keeps Balor grounded. Miz also taunts Strowman. Balor fights up and out, but Miz hits the neck breaker for a 2 count. Sammy comes back in to beat Balor around the ring. Lashley tags in and runs right over Sammy, then tosses him overhead. Lashley with more big offense in the corner. Lashley scoops Sammy, but puts him down as others approach on the apron. Sammy rocks Lashley, but it backfires. Lashley lifts Sammy for the big vertical suplex and holds him in the air. It's a fans pop. Miz runs in, but Lashley presses him and tosses him over the top onto Owens and Axel. Lashley stands tall and gets a pop as we go to another commercial. Back for the break, and Owens has Rollins grounded on the mat. Rollins fights for a tag, but Owens drops him, hit on his head for a 2 count. Miz comes in and talks trash while keeping Rollins down. Taunting his opponents, Miz stomps away on Rollins in the corner. Rollins fights back and knocks the heels off the apron, but Miz decks him and nails a DDT for a pin attempt. Miz does a yes kick to Rollins now. Miz shows off and misses the last kick. Rollins rolls him up for a 2 count. Rollins drops Miz and looks for a tag now. Axel and Dallas take Lashley and Balor off the apron, sends him into the barrier. Rollins counters and Miz hits the enziguri, but there's no one to tag. Braun and Lashley also get physical with the heels on the outside. Rude gets a hot tag and unloads on Axel. Rude goes up top and comes flying off with a clothesline to Axel. Rude calls for the glorious DDT, but Axel blocks it. Rude nails the blockbuster and for a 2 count as Dallas breaks up the pinfall. Rude sends Dallas to the floor. Axel tags out to Rude, takes out Rude's leg. Miz tags in and goes for the figure 4, but Rude rolls him up for a 2 count. Rude clotheslines Miz, and as he goes down, Braun reaches for the tag as the fans pop. Braun gets the tag, and Miz looks terrified. Miz runs out of the ring and around the ring, but Braun chases him as he's fast for his size, knocking down Owens on the way. Braun sends Miz into the apron and beats him down, also nailing Sammy. Braun and Miz come back in the ring with Braun getting the upper hand. Braun nails a chokeslam. Braun then takes out Dallas and then Axel. They move in the corner, and Braun hits the ring post. Shoulder first. Balor comes back in and takes out the Mr. Oz. It's chaos as everywhere. Everyone gets in their moves on each other. It comes down to Miz and Braun again. Miz with a corner drop kick. He wastes time and goes for another, but Braun nails him with a big drop kick instead. Miz goes for a tag to Axel, but Axel drops off the apron and refuses to tag in. Miz can't believe it. Dallas does the same. Miz is shocked as the fans love it. Miz turns around and faces Braun. As Mr. Oz walks away, Braun spears Miz into the corner, scoops him for the big Alabama slam, power slam. Braun covers for the pin and the win. After the match, babyface stand tall as the music hits. We go to replays. We see Miz down on the floor. Mr. Oz watches from the stage. Winners stand tall together in the ring as Raw goes off the air. Advertised dark main event for Raw was supposed to be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Braun Strowman versus Miz, Sheamus, and Cesaro. It's worth pointing out that WWE hasn't not actually followed through with their advertised post-match dark matches in several weeks. Supposedly, this is a video link that happened after all, as it showed Randy Orton RKO'd almost everyone but Cena, as missed on Big Show, as Cena Attitude Adjustment on Big Show, and ends on the video. Les Dorado and Graham Metallic versus Hideo Itami and Akira Tozawa in a tornado tag is announced for 205 Live, and that concludes my video for Raw and WWE main event. Thanks again. See you on be. If you don't know, just call me, brothers.